Solitary bees. When I talk to people about bees, they think immediately of honeybee, and some people think that's the only kind of bee. But honeybees are not native. They were brought into this country in the 1600s. But meanwhile, we have about 350 to 400 different types of solitary bees here in Massachusetts alone. And these are bees that work by themselves. They don't have a nest, so there's no nest to protect. They don't come out and sting you. So each bee is a queen and the only worker. She will fly around and visit flowers to pick up pollen and nectar, and in the process pollinate the flowers, which then gives us seeds, which gives us fruits, vegetables, nuts, and so flowers. And she'll take that back to a hole, either a hole she builds in the ground or a hole in a piece of wood, depending on the type of bee. Any hole will work as long as it's the right size. She puts the nectar and pollen there, lays an egg on it, closes it up, goes out and does it again until the hole is filled up. There are years that I've had no honeybees in our gardens. It's all been solitary bees, but then there are years and there's been a lot of honeybees. It just depends on where the nearest hive of honeybees are. And as we know, honeybees are in trouble. You hear in the news all the time that hives are disappearing. And so we want to encourage the solitary bees so that we always have pollinators. Because if you don't have pollinators, you're not going to have fruits, vegetables, nuts, all of those things that we love to eat. And so one of the things we're doing at this table here is showing people how to make solitary bee houses out of a tin can and paper. Here we have a regular soup can, tin can. And what you want to do is take a piece of paper and you wrap it around a pencil, tight as you can, and you fold over and tape it closed. The bee wants one end of the tube closed.
Oh, so you're making a tube?
Yes, you're making a tube, one end open, one end closed. You put it in your can, so eventually you'll have something that looks like this. And the bee will come in here, find one of these, go in there, lay their egg in the pollen or nectar, close it up, and do it again and again. And when they finish the tube, they cap it off, and they may do 1 or 2 tubes. Over here, I've used Phragmites reed. So Phragmites is an invasive reed that we have, and nobody likes it, but we can put it to use. So I cut it so one end is closed, there's a node right there, and the other end is open. About 6 inches long is what you want, and you just fill it with all different size tubes, and the bees will come and find that and use that. So you would attach this somewhere, preferably under an eave or someplace where the rain's not going to get it, facing south. If it faces south, the early morning sun will heat it up and the bees will become active early in the morning, much earlier than a honeybee would be. And they're very, very good pollinators.